Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. You know, in this business, you get to every once in a while interview. Well, I love everyone we interview, but you love some people more than others. And Sukanya Krishnan is with us. She's an Emmy Award-winning host and anchor. She is the co-host of a terrific show called the Suki and Scott Show. By the way, welcome, my friend.
So nice to see you. As always, it's been a minute, but you know what? You never change. You keep getting younger and younger, and I need to know what the secret is.
Well, I've got a doctor. I'm going to share his name.
I thought you were going to say lighting, Suki. It's all in the lighting.
That too, to our team behind the scenes. By the way, Suki and Scott, it's Facebook Live every day at 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no. We're doing it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then we're on like View It, Me TV on Saturdays broadcast. But we're also on Stir and Crackle, et cetera, et cetera.
Look at me screwing up the promo right out of the box.
Don't worry about it. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
And Suki has been her past background picks, Fox 5 in New York, CBS, the TLC. By the way, can we do real quick on that? We'll come back to Scott and Suki. You're host of TLC's Find Love Live, right? Set that up for us.
So I'm going to set that up for you. So obviously, global pandemic going on. This is 2020. And I think like many networks, they were trying to figure out what can they do to be creative in the terms of connecting people. And so TLC is really about connection, right? I mean, it's about the heart. It's about people. It's about stories. So they came up with this concept called Find Love Live, and which was something people were already doing, which was dating virtually on their phone, you know, swipe left, swipe right. We decided to take it to TV and put a twist on it where we'd have, you know, it was, I don't know how to say this, but it was like the modern day version of something that we all grew up with, the dating game. But it was the current iteration of how people were meeting each other, which is basically through their phone, dating, meeting, talking. And we were sort of the middle person, and I was the host of that. So it was nice to see something happen during that time of the pandemic where it felt like we were all alone. And what this did was connect people in a fun, lighthearted way, which they were already doing. So that's what Find Love Live was. And it was the first iteration of something for that network, TLC, that they've never done live TV in that sense. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
You know, Suki, it's so interesting. You've got that going. You've got the Sister Wives one-on-one on TLC as well. But then would set up Suki and Scott, because I'm sitting there going, Scott and Suki, two pros, so many Emmy Awards, particularly in this New York region. You guys come together. You've worked together in the past, right?
Sure. Yeah. That's how we met each other.
Over at Pix.
Over at Pix, yeah.
Where's the idea come from? We're going to do this on our own because I am fascinated by entrepreneurs in our business and the media who decide, you know what? It's okay to work for a network. And I'm to our friends at PBS, we say thank you. But you created your own thing. How does that happen?
Well, listen, I think more and more people are used to having their life curated for them. They have most people are watching things on their phone, whether it's their phone, their laptop. I mean, look at your kids, look at your friends' kids. You can see what's going to be the next real thing. And while I love broadcast TV, and broadcast is where we all grew up in, for me and Scott, we were sitting around during the pandemic. This is another sort of evolution of ourselves during the pandemic. We both loved working with each other. Our time at, you know, that morning show had come to an end. And we just didn't want somebody to tell us that, you know what, there's no place for us.
You know, Suki, one of the things that's most interesting to me is I've been let go by so many networks over the years where they said, listen, you don't have to come back again. And you've been on the other end where management says we're, quote, going in a different direction.
Sure.
We're thrilled. That means goodbye. We're thrilled to be partners with public broadcasting. But the reality is we have to be entrepreneurs in our own way, create our own content. You and Scott, you both work at Pix. You, for whatever reason or reasons, contractually, you're not there. What happens that you come together and create this terrific Facebook, plus on Me TV and on other platforms? Go ahead.
You know what, Steve, you're absolutely correct. We've all been on the other side. And whether we're in TV or not, we've all been in that position where they're like, you know what, this is not working for us. We need to let you go for whatever reason. And the fact of the matter is, it is a little jarring. It's a little unsettling. And you have to kind of get your wherewithal with you. And when you
It does something to your ego. Sorry, it does something to your ego.
it does something to your ego. But the other thing is, like, it makes you a fighter. It makes you a fighter, Steve, because
grit.
when
You've
somebody
got grit, G-R-I-T, you've got a lot of grit.
It's true. It makes you a fighter. When somebody tells you can't do something, you're like, oh yeah, watch me. I didn't get here for no reason, you know? And quite frankly, the world that we live in, I feel like I've paid my dues and I deserve a seat at the table. Thank you very much. And so if I can't sit at your table, I'm going to create my own table and I'm going to create my own entrance and I'm going to walk through that door by myself. So for Scott and myself, Scott Stanford and myself, we had worked together at Pix and we had such a great relationship. And we just didn't want somebody to tell us that, you know what? This is it for you. And in the world that we live in and the social media world that we live in, there's so many different platforms. And we figured that we could take our message to our fans. And so the Suki and Scott Show was basically created out of, well, two people who wanted to do something together and wanted to see what we could create. And it has been a process. So it started out as two people just talking with each other, kind of talking current events, news stories, breaking it down
Family
by segment.
Stuff, what you're doing during the what binge TV you're watching, all kinds of stuff.
Exactly.
Then you started having guests. Who's the guy? Who do you have on? The guy who's got this great voice. He's like a regular guy, but he's got an
George
extraordinary.
Lopez? Are you
No, he sings. You guys have him on all the time. Never mind.
You're talking about Phil Paz. He's our musical director.
Amazing.
Well, Phil was somebody who was, how about this? This is what social media does. It creates communities. And what Scott and I have been able to do is create a community within our own community, believe it or not, where they talk to each other. So they actually tell us people that they watch on TikTok, Facebook, Live, whatever they do. And Phil ended up being a friend of our show. Now, Phil is great. He is from Oklahoma, doesn't know anything about the Suki or Scott show, or doesn't know anything about Suki and Scott. We meet, we get along. He has, several 100,000 followers on Facebook. He's a former police officer in Oklahoma, sniper, Army veteran, and he has his own story. So we're able to blend his story with our story and create a bigger platform. I mean, he's got a lot of fans because he's good looking.
And they follow you now. They follow you, right? And by the way, Suki,
we started out with nobody, zero. When I say zero, nothing, and we're up to like 70,000 viewers, and we'll go to like, given our, guests, we might go to like 3 to 4 million people watching at some point. It's crazy.
Suki, I'm not offended. Well, I actually am offended, but I'm trying to act like I'm not, that you and Scott have not asked me on this show. I know.
You know what? Your invitation, you're coming on the show and we're going to have a real conversation.
No, listen, do you know how embarrassing it is to ask to be on the show? That's terrible that
Steve,
I just did that.
Steve, we're humble people. We don't think a big time guy like you would want to come on our show.
Stop it.
That's how we look at it.
My producers stop. The producers are putting on the thing. Hurry up, ask about Sister Wives, because I'll be in trouble. Give me 30 seconds, Sister Wives.
Sister Wives is, one of the franchise shows for TLC. If you're a fan of TLC, you know what Sister Wives is. So it's about a polygamous family and basically their lives. I mean, it's been going on for 16 seasons.
It's Cody Brown. You had the Cody Brown on, right?
The Brown family, Cody Brown, Janelle Brown, Mary Brown, Robin Brown. And it's the dynamics of how they've gotten to this place in their life where, some of the relationships aren't working so well. Does that sound familiar? Who hasn't been there before? And we know what TLC has created is this situation where people are so invested in these lives. I mean, that's what reality TV is, right? You become invested in the people, the character, and it's not characters, they're real people. So I got a chance to do the one-on-one, and the one-on-one was a take that TLC did because of the COVID pandemic, and everybody wanted to meet in a safe environment. So I was able to talk to these people about their real lives. Why are there certain fractures happening? Why are certain people not working out? What was the dynamic? How did kids play? How did COVID play in it? And Cody is vilified for many, many reasons because he is the head of the family, but I found Cody to be interesting. I loved Janelle. Janelle has a different play in the family. You've got Robin, who is the last wife, who a lot of viewers, I don't think, completely understand her. And I think, jealousy, when you have so many people in a marriage, jealousy kind of plays a factor. And unfortunately, Christine and Cody are no longer together. And that is sort of the situation that I lay out. We kind of dig into it. So it's part therapy, part fun, part reality in the sense that it's their real life. It's a little bit of everything.
That's Sister Wives. Scott and Suki Show every day, Facebook Live. What time?
Facebook Live, Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Of course, we're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Scott and Suki.
Me too.
And you got to watch TLC. What's wrong with you, Steve? TLC, Sister Wives. It's the hottest show out there.
I'm a PBS guy, but I can find it. I'm going to do it. And I do only have one wife. I have one ex-wife, but I'm going to find a way to get on the show. Suki, thank you so much, my friend.
Steve, you're the best. And thank you so much for, plugging us and the work that we do. And you know what? And not forgetting your old friends. I appreciate that you understand that, there's platforms for everybody. And I'm glad that TLC was able to find me and I'm able to do a job for them. So thank you. Sister Wives, everybody.
You got it. Good plugging. Well done. That's Suki. I'm Steve. The Suki and Scott Show. We'll be right back.
Steve, Adubato.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, Rowan University, NJM Insurance Group, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, PSC&G, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, the New Jersey Education Association, and by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and by New Jersey Monthly.
NJM Insurance Company has been serving New Jersey policyholders for more than 100 years. But just who are NJM's policyholders? They're the men and women who teach our children, the public sector employees who maintain our infrastructure, the workers who craft our manufactured goods, and New Jersey's next generation of leaders, the people who make our state a great place to call home. NJM, we've got New Jersey covered.